Aaahoi! My name is Kurt and today I'm trying my hand at making another Pokeball. This Pokeball is the second prototype I built because I plan to create as many different Pokeballs as possible. I've already shown you the first prototype on Instagram and in my YouTube shorts. However, this ball has the famous Pikachu lightning bolt above the button, which the Pokeball in this video won't have. But you can consider the Pokeball I'm building here as the foundation for all Pokeballs. How many times do I say Pokeball in this video? Write it down in the comments. As you can already see, for this project I'm using an acrylic ball consisting of two halves with a diameter of 9 centimeters. I had to remove some material from the acrylic ball, so I drew some reference lines on it. And if you don't want to miss any of my videos and want to support my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for your support, and let's continue with the video. With the help of a self-adhesive foam disc, I marked the area where I would later place the button on the Pokeball. I divided the foam disc in half so I could place it perfectly in the center of the marked area. So all the marks were in place and I could begin to remove the material using a Dremel. However, I couldn't do this in my own apartment, so I had to move to Studio B and continue working over there. I removed the small plastic bits from both halves and carefully smoothed the edges with sandpaper. Be very careful and take your time here, as the balls are quite fragile. I also roughened the inside of the Pokeballs so that the foam would adhere better. After that, I painted both halves in the appropriate colors. Inside, I attached the aforementioned foam. For that, I made a template and transferred the shape onto 2 mm thick foam. The foam should give the illusion that the walls of the Pokeball are thicker and sturdier. Be sure to pay close attention to the exact thickness of the foam. Now, onto this fillable plastic Christmas ornament. This ball goes inside the Pokeball. I cut off the screw closure and sanded the surface slightly. I wrapped the Christmas ornament with a strip of 2 mm thick foam. I pressed the ornament against my work surface to transfer the flattened shape onto the foam. This provided a good reference point for placing the button later. I also glued a 2 mm thick foam disc inside the halves because I thought it would better align the ball inside. I have no idea if this makes a difference, but now it's too late. At this moment, I noticed that the red foam was slightly different from the white foam and a bit too flat. I added a layer of 1 mm foam inside to adjust the difference. Now let's build the button in the middle of the Pokeball. For this, I used these cheap refrigerator magnets whose plastic covering I removed with the help of a vise. I then glued the magnet to a furniture glider with super glue. However, the button could use one more detail, a rubber ring. All the parts were prepared and I could clean up my workspace. So, we have the inside of the Pokeball, the two halves and the button. I shaped the foam a bit so that it fits better inside the two halves. And because I didn't pay much attention to working in the center of the frame, I am just reacting to what's shown, as it's done in 2023. I glued the button back into the center of the Pokeball with super glue. A tiny but important tip from me: paint the button before placing it down. You'll see why it's important in a few seconds. I have given the Pokeball a few signs of wear and tear using acrylic paint. I applied silver paint here and there to make it look as if the paint had already chipped off. I also removed some material and scratched the surface in a few places. This gives the ball a really cool used look. But don't overdo it like I did here. Why it can be important to paint the button beforehand in 3, 2, 1. I had to touch up later with acrylic paint. But this is how the Pokeball Prototype 2.0 was completed. Here are some cool shots in nice lighting for you. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or message me on Instagram or Facebook. Thank you very much for tuning in and sticking around until the end. Next up is the Ultra Ball, and we will see if everything works as I envisioned. Until then, have fun crafting. Bye bye.